Yeah, and the scary part was Google said, oh, but you should take a right, go over this cattle guard, and then take a left in the middle of hills and trees.
We wanna go.
Y'all, we just discovered a serious problem that could not only jeopardize our safety, but really damage the RV.
Yeah, and it's the craziest thing because I just noticed it today, and I swear I check this thing all the time. It's obviously not one of these problems that can happen right away. It takes a while for it to progress, but what happened is I was checking our RV tires, and we're out here boondocking, and it's just one thing that I do. I swear I do it regularly, but one of our tires is in such bad shape, and it had to have occurred over a long period of time. I don't know how this flew by me and escaped me, but we're over an hour from the nearest tire shop, and I tell you that because we're not comfortable driving on it, right? It's just we got to get it fixed. Well, you got to get it replaced. You can't fix it. And so tomorrow morning is when we're gonna have to take this thing off because it's over an hour, so we'll just do it tomorrow. And I'll show you in the light tomorrow what it looks like, and hopefully maybe you'll have an explanation how this happened.
Ooh, there's our tire, everybody.
Alright, so here's the tire, and I've been thinking about this. We've both been thinking about this. You see right here, I don't know if this will show up, but this right above my fingertip is a wear bar. It goes that way across the tire. So it generally tells you when you've gotten to the maximum tread wear. You don't want to use it past that. And there's still some tread left on here, and you can see right there, still some tread left. But if I rotate the tire, oh my goodness, it's gone. There's the wear bar right by my finger. You see that on your screen? If you can't see it, let me describe it. It's flat. It's been worn down. So not only is there no tread above it, the wear bar itself is worn down like sandpaper. So something happened, and it's on this side, and it's on that side. And it's starting to... Something happened here. It's starting to chip away right here, and you see in the middle, normally this would indicate, according to my friend, we have a friend who's a tire expert. That's what he spent most of his adult life doing. So he said when you see the maximum tread depth in the middle and it's wearing on both edges, that usually indicates that the tire is underinflated. However, this part of the tire would seem to betray that. This looks fine. So I'm wondering if we just maybe made a turn somewhere and this one got particularly nasty, and I don't know. I just don't know. I can't explain it.
Alright, y'all, we're on our way to Discount Tire in Helena. And I just wanted to share my thoughts about the tire. We have no idea why this tire did this. And you're not supposed to worry, but I keep having these thoughts like, why did this tire do this? How can we prevent it? Was it because we jackknifed the trailer? Obviously, we do want to prevent it, and then we want to tell you what we learned about it. So I'm just kind of one of those moods that's like, I'm trying to figure it out. And it bugs me that I don't know what caused it. Now we're going to D&D RV Center in Helena because they sell the Thetford drain loop. And this stuff is hard to find. And we rely on this stuff, and we can't get it on Amazon because Amazon's not Prime with this stuff. It like takes 2 weeks, and we don't stay anywhere longer than 2 weeks. So what did you get?
Alright, I got the Thetford brand. Now, we've been telling y'all about Camco, but they stopped making it. I called them. They said, we discontinued it. I'm like, you're one of 2 people who seem to make this stuff. So, Thetford is the ones who our friends at Why Wait use, so that's good enough for me. And we like it so much, or we need it so much, we got 2 bottles. So now we've got it. I'm so glad.
Yay. Alright. Alright, y'all, we're out of breath. We just came out of Walmart. It was not supposed to rain today, but that's Montana. It's just spontaneous rain. And not only is it raining, but the wind is blowing really hard. So Matthew's just loading our wet groceries in. And that's how our Saturday's going. We're supposed to put the tire back on the RV when we get back. So we're probably gonna have to start or wait until the weather clears, and then we'll get that tire back on. But that's Murphy's Law, right, Matthew?
Yeah, and the parking lot was uphill, so I ran uphill holding my hat in the buggy. It was hard.
All right, y'all, not sure if you can tell, but when we first came in here on Monday, there was like 3 RVs over there to your right. Now it looks like a rally over there. Like it's rally parking or something, right, Matthew?
There are a ton of RVs in there. They make the most of every inch.
Alright, y'all, as you know, we had to bring this slide in because we had to change the tire, but we went grocery shopping. And one thing, I just discovered this. Our pantry door opens with this slide completely in, so I could start putting stuff up in the pantry with this slide in. Look how close. See, here's the countertop. This is just amazing. I mean, I can't believe how detailed this is, and they thought of just how convenient this would be for somebody.
All right, so we got our new tire, got it installed, and our cold fill air pressure max when the tire is cold is 80 psi. And I know it's cold because it hasn't run a day in its life. So when we got home, I double checked it. It was running about 76 psi. That's a good thing for y'all is when you get it back, even if you haul your trailer into Tires Plus or Discount Tire, double check the PSI because it's your trailer on the line, not theirs. They may do a great job. Just double check it. So when I got home, I double checked it and I used this. We are not sponsored by Viair. I'm only telling you about it because I believe in it because I use it. We both use it. We've used it for over 2 years now on the road. And this is what it looks like. We have this in our store. If you buy anything from our store, it doesn't cost you any extra, and actually we're not even the ones selling it, Amazon is, but Amazon gives us a nice little referral fee. So even if you don't want to buy air, if y'all wanted to help support us, it would really help us out. If you start on our store on Amazon, that would really help out our channel.
It's my birthday, and we're boondocking here in Montana. We're like, what, about 15 minutes? Is it 15-minute drive outside of Helena? So we're not sure if we're going to do something today or tomorrow, July 4th, because we still have work today on the 3rd. But look at this cake. We got it at Walmart, so I'm hoping it's good, and I get it all to myself because Matthew doesn't eat sweets. But I saw it. It's got like a chocolate drizzle down it and sprinkles and confetti and stuff on it, so it should be really good. All right, y'all, Matthew's gonna cut my cake because I'm not good at cutting cake.
Y'all, there is so much confetti and sprinkles on this. This is bound to make some kind of a mess.
I know y'all are wanting to see what the inside of the cake looks like, so we will see together. We're boondocking and it's gonna make a mess because when you're boondocking, you don't have any resources to clean stuff. Oh! It's
There it
confetti
is.
on the inside. Matthew did a good job, y'all. There's hardly any on the countertop. Look. Alright, big piece.
How is the Walmart confetti cake? So it's not that kind of frosting that gives you an aftertaste. This is actually good stuff.
And y'all, I don't know if each Walmart is different with their bakeries because, you know, we're in different regions, but this was the Helena, Montana Walmart. I've never seen a cake in their bakery like this. Maybe they do have them all over. I don't really pay attention to the birthday cakes unless it's around my birthday. But I saw this one because I knew I wanted like a white type cake. But then I saw this one, it had the drizzles and the sparkles, and now I love confetti cakes, so I'm happy.
Good. Well, happy birthday to our Sean.
Thank you. Alright, y'all, it is my birthday. We had to work a lot today, so we didn't get to do some big hike, but we found that there's a little hike that's, on a historic part of history. They've got it on the Lewis and Clark historical thing. It's called the Crimson Bluffs in Townsend, Montana. So we're gonna hike this little trail down.
It's a little trail, but you know what might even be more exciting than the trail getting here. It's got some of them roads where you go up and you can't see where you're going. And as soon as you get to the top, it takes a really sharp bank. So I've had some fun already.
Yeah, and the scary part was Google said, oh, but you should take a right, go over this cattle guard, and then take a left in the middle of hills and trees. And so we went back on the main road and she made her little, you messed up thing. And then come to find out it was just another detour. We were still on the right road. I mean, if Google can save you a second.
Oh, yeah.
And then the road came out by someone's driveway. It wasn't even a road.
Y'all, you need to be careful with Google sometimes because we've been around here using Google around the Townsend Helena area.
Yeah.
And there was one time when she said, turn here. And we're like, there's literally no road there. It's just the middle of a cow pasture or a farm field. There's no turnoff. There's no once used to be a road. Nothing. Not even a logging road.
Right.
Google, get your stuff together.
Okay, y'all, this is the sign. It's called Crimson Bluffs, a remarkable bluff to a crimson-colored earth. Crimson Bluffs, chapter of the Lewis Clark Trail Heritage Foundation. So this is on the Lewis and Clark Trail. All right, y'all, they do have this trail marked. There was another marker because Matthew wanted to go right, and then we saw one of these laying on the ground. We had to go left. Look, they want us to go left, and it looks like there's nowhere to go left. All right, y'all, there he is taking photos, maybe some videos. If you don't follow us on Facebook, that's a great place to catch some of Matthew's photos that he takes. Me and the peeps are gonna see how gradual this is, because I didn't bring my walking stick. Okay, it don't look steep. It looks like it's gradually gonna take us down. All right, y'all, we apparently walked past the bluffs, but they said they were crimson. They don't look crimson. I'll show y'all. They look kind of like what, Matthew? Just orange?
Yeah, it probably depends on the lighting, but we found every bug in the universe.
Ugh, fixing to walk through this. Ugh. I would say it's not a well-maintained trail. It's very overgrown. Here are the bluffs. And I'd say it's not worth it. But apparently the story is Lewis and Clark came down this river, and I think it was Clark who spotted these and said they look like Crimson Bluffs. Oh, I see. That's where they are, down here. You can see them better from the river, so not above. Oh, and then over here, Matthew. All right, y'all, it's crimson, but you can see it if you have a boat or a kayak or a canoe. It's better to see it from the river's point of view.
My impression of it is it's history and it was rather short. I think it was worth it.
Right, I would say if you had a choice, maybe do it on a boat so you can really see the Crimson Bluffs. But it was neat to at least get to go down by the water. It's very buggy and the trail's kind of overgrown, but they kind of mark it pretty well. And the road to get in here is crazy.
Good morning, y'all. We're getting ready to go on a hike, and it's the 4th of July, and look what we're seeing. Tons of Canadian geese. I mean, they can fly, so if I could fly, I don't know about you, but I'd be flying. I wouldn't be walking. But apparently they like to walk, and there's a bunch of little ones in there. You see them?
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th.
By the time you see this, I don't know, it might be a month.
Happy August.
Yeah, we're both wearing our July 4th get up, the red, white, and the blue.
And if you can't tell, it's a little chilly outside right now. It's not supposed to be that way all day, but it's windy and it's a little chilly.
So as you know, we're boondocking in Townsend, Montana off of the Missouri River, quote, Canyon Ferry
Yeah.
Lake. But you know, when there's beauty and you get to boondock at beauty, there's always a disadvantage. And the disadvantage is not this time cell coverage. Actually, I think AT&T and T-Mobile work out here. And we have Starlink. But that's not the disadvantage for us. This time, it takes us an hour to get to town.
And that's not an exaggeration. It takes an hour and 2 minutes to get to where we're going today. And we like being in the middle of nowhere, but sometimes you just don't feel like making the trek. Sometimes you're just like, I just don't want to drive for an hour today.
But we need to hike and exercise. We didn't get to do anything yesterday on the 3rd because it was actually a work day for both of us yesterday. And maybe, I'm not sure because it's the 4th, but maybe after it's all said and done, Sean might get to go to Hobby Lobby.
Sean should not hold her breath.
Alright, y'all, this is, what is it called? The
Mount Helena City Park or something.
And there is like no parking here. It's July 4th. Everybody else wants to hike. So we're just gonna go park somewhere else. Alright, y'all, we successfully made it to the second trailhead. And Matthew's getting our backpack ready, and he parked us in the weeds because that's what he likes to do. What's the name of this trail we're on?
Head Lane to Scratch Gravel Trail.
Okay. Yeah, look at all the pretty yellow wildflowers. And there's purple mixed in between. And we just started this trail and we're already out of breath, and Matthew said that wasn't the worst part of the trail.
Y'all, wait till the end of the trail.
Y'all, I love the smell of pine trees. It's like we're walking in a pine forest with all these yellow wildflowers. Alright, y'all, this is our trail and it says please close the gate. Matthew is trying to unwrap from the barbed wire.
Come on.
Okay. Then you gotta hook it back.
There we go.
Alright, y'all, so we have all trails, and Matthew's been following all trails, but he didn't hit start.
So I'm following the map, and the map is accurate, and it's telling us where to go, and that's fine. Where I screwed up is I didn't hit start, as in it doesn't tell us how much elevation we've gained so far, and it doesn't tell us our health stats. So that part of it will be a mystery, but I hit start just now. All right, y'all, we're just minding our own business, going down the trail, and what do we see? Registered mining claim. Absolutely no prospecting allowed. This means you.
I mean, seriously, y'all, someone already laid claim to it, so I can't take my little metal detector out here and just dig.
And y'all, for those of you who were with us last summer, you remember all our hikes through Wyoming? What were we fond of saying? We got this whole thing to ourselves. And we started with several other hikers, but they obviously took a different path. So we'll see what it's like when we get to the top.
You probably don't want to hike with us or a vlogger because I got my momentum going. Matthew's like, oh, let me get the camera out. And then the camera doesn't work. He has to take it apart, pull the battery out, put the battery back in, and here I am like wasting. I could have been at the top of that hill by now. I'm just saying, if y'all want to hike with us, we take pictures and video.
She's not lying, y'all. We're not all the way up yet, but I wanted to share something amazing with you. This place not only has wildflowers, but check out all these cactus flowers. Sorry for all the grass, but there's one. There's some pink ones. There's some more cactus flowers. Aren't those pretty? Look at all these cactus flowers. Now that's nice. All right, my travel partner's ahead of me. Time to catch up. Cattle in area, please close gate, thank you. Yep. We can go through it. Y'all, we made it. We weren't sure we were going to.
This is beautiful up here. I mean, I thought we were gonna die. You have to listen to your body, because we were trying to power drive up here because that's what you do. You see the top and you're like, that's my goal. But then once our bodies were like, okay, you can't push that hard, then we just listened to our bodies and went slow. As long as we were putting one foot in front of the other, we were making progress. You don't have to do it as fast as you can to just get it over with. Just listen to your body, and if your body says, whoa, we'll get there, but take it slow. That's what we did.
Y'all, we are on our way down, and two things. Number one, so far we have not seen any other hikers on this trail, not this part of the trail. Number two, you're going to want to have all trails on this. Now, I will say all trails is really accurate on this. You can see if you're looking carefully that the grass gets indented, but if you went up this when we did, when nobody else had been through here for a while, it wasn't quite so obvious, and you could get lost on the side of this grassy hill. I mean, common sense will take you a long way if you know where your finishing point is, but still, I would get all trails and download the trail for offline use, and that'll help you on trails like this. This trail is pretty accurate on all trails.
All right, y'all. One thing Matthew does when he gets through with the trail is he rates it on all trails, and then he gives a description and adds pictures.
That's right. We don't add all of our pictures. Some of them we put on Facebook, but if you want to follow us on all trails, then that would be great. And on this specific trail, y'all, I forgot to hit the start button at the very start, so our stats are going to be a little bit low. But the map is accurate. You'll be able to see where we went and all that kind of stuff.
So that's a little behind the scenes, how he adds our stuff. He does it right when we're done, even though he forgot to hit start. I tell you what am I going to do with him?
Well, my warranty's expired, so you can't get a new one.
Here's our stats for whatever Matthew recorded.
Now again, I did not start the start button on the very beginning, so these are low, but our stats say 915 feet elevation gained. I believe the true number is closer to 1,200 feet, and boy howdy it felt like it. Distance 4.09 miles. It was closer to 5. This is low, but our calories are 1,215 calories, and that's low. I told you I didn't start it right away, so and we went up a pretty big hill first.
That's low? Alright, y'all, so after a hike we usually like to get something to eat, but instead I get treated with Hobby Lobby.
Bury me now.
Because it's the 4th and my birthday was yesterday. Alright, so we're walking back to the truck, and if you notice, we parked in the last spot. And we came out of Hobby Lobby good, under $20. We didn't spend very much. But we found their clearance aisles, y'all. We got something that was 66% off.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That was like a nice find. Alright, y'all, we're having supper and watching YouTube. And Matthew, what did you do?
I had a technical difficulty.
Let's see what he did. I know you're like, oh no. How are you gonna clean that up? That's salad, and you almost put Caesar dressing on there. We had chicken parmesan, and why do they put carpet? He's not even a kid.
I hate carpet. Carpet is evil, and I wish these people would have figured out before our model year not to put carpet here, but it's not their fault I dropped it. It's just a mess. I just can't relax. I just have to clean up salad. Alright. I realize this isn't pretty. Nothing about this is pretty, but it's real life. I think I got everything. So I'm gonna make messes because that just happens. In fact, both of us are kind of messy people, but I just really wish they didn't have carpet here. That would have been so much easier to just spray the 409 and be done with it. But it's clean. Look, y'all. We got a prairie dog visit us. It's just been having a good time in our campsite. I've been watching it out the window, and it's just hiding behind a log. I guess it thinks it's invisible. Alright, y'all. Here's the next day. We've never had a prairie dog before. It just likes hanging out here. I promise you we haven't seen it before yesterday. I don't know what we're going to name it. Frank.
Harry.
Fine, Harry. Sean says his name is Harry. We don't know if it's a him or a her, but it's now Harry the prairie dog. Alright, y'all. We're going to go visit the prairie dog. Not to be a booger. We just want to make sure he's not digging a hole in the fire pit, because that's not a wise place to dig a hole. This little turkey's making a hole in the fire pit. Come on, that's not a good idea. Y'all, you know us. We have a great respect for wild animals. We do not get in their way. I do not plan on getting in their way. But this is our fire pit. That is about the dumbest place you can build a hole.
Matthew's checking on Henry.
His name is Harry.
Oh yeah, Harry. I'm sorry, Henry.
He buried the whole fire pit.
He did. I wonder how deep that hole is.
Oh, he could be halfway to Australia by now. Y'all, it's digging. Look. We're only this close because it took over our darn fire pit. We were here first. Just look at it, it's coming back. Have you ever seen a prairie dog dig a hole before? Y'all, we're being told to leave. I don't think that's the welcoming committee. Alright, we're gone.
Alright, y'all. When we first pulled in, we did not have, and it was a Monday. We did not have any nights by ourselves. Some tent campers moved in right away. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But they were really quiet. And then they stayed 2 nights and then they left. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then we had another RV come in. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just never going to have this place all to ourselves, right?
But these other people were quiet too.
They were quiet too. And we're like, please don't leave. They had generator problems is what it looked like. Because we can see everything out of our back window. Yeah. We work here.
We're not spies, y'all. We see everything here.
He kept having, it kept turning off and it wouldn't stay on. I'm like, oh, please don't leave. And this was like the Friday of July 4th weekend. Because they were quiet, right?
And they had the quietest generator, y'all.
Yeah, so they packed up and left on a Friday afternoon. And then this guy showed up with like some kayaks and another guy, and they looked like they were tent campers. And Matthew's like, oh, okay, because our other tent campers were extremely quiet. Then his friends showed up. They were the rowdiest bunch. They were, every other word was in what, four-letter word.
Their vocabulary could not exceed 4 letters, and they didn't have they had a problem with rules. What rules did they break?
Well, they blasted their music, but
there are quiet hours here, believe it or not, and they violated that prolifically.
Fireworks. They have huge signs. Another part of the rules, no fireworks. And he even was shooting them, and one of them fell down. He's like, oh no, and he was like the cartoon character jumping around in that thing. And I was just, we didn't know who to call. It was the weekend because I didn't want our RV to catch fire. I didn't want anything to catch fire. That's what was upsetting me the most. Not the fact that they were shooting the fireworks, but they were just shooting them randomly everywhere. And there's people that have RVs here, and they said no fireworks, so.
I happen to have the number for, because I called asking the question about being able to jump campsites, remember? So I had the number for the guy who is in charge, and actually is a guy who's in charge of this local area, Canyon Ferry Lake, you know, like the Department of Reclamation's business around here. So I called and left a message for them, and it was basically something to the effect of, you know, I wish y'all would patrol this area. We got these drunken fools who are out here shooting fireworks off and everything else towards people's campsites. And so the next day they sent somebody out, but the next day they were gone.
They left. They actually only stayed 2 nights. We thought they were going to be here till the 4th, but they left like Sunday. And then that campsite, which is right here behind us, y'all, has been empty. And then everybody left, and we had one night on that side of the tree line, and this whole area was vacant.
It was wonderful.
We had one night where there was no other person around us, and then.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was nice. And then yesterday we had our new neighbors, and they're so quiet. That's the thing. We've had other campers that have been grouped together, and they're respectful and they're
really
quiet.
Great neighbors. Yeah.
And so that's that. And then what else?
And then we had a travel trailer just now before we recorded this who came in, and they wanted the spot next to us. Okay, fine, that's fine. A nice older couple, but then he was walking around. It was a husband and wife, and the husband walked down the beach and saw there was another spot kind of like ours, big and huge, on a private beach. And so he ran back and get in the truck, and so they ran over there and they got their spot. And we were outside doing something, and we could just overhear him because there's trees, but it's not that far away. So he's over there saying, can you believe these people? They left their fire burning. It's still burning. So now we got to have 2 public service messages. Y'all have heard us talk about pack in and pack it out. Do not leave your trash in any way, shape, or form. The second one, apparently people need to be told, don't leave your campsite with a fire burning. I mean, come on.
In the West, y'all.
Seriously?
It's very windy here, and forest fires, I mean, that's horrible.
There's a lot of forest fires.
Between the 2 boondocking spots, I liked the other one better for the view out the window because it was right on the water. But this place, even though we had rowdy neighbors for 2 nights, it does seem to be a little less crowded.
Yes.
Over here at Duck Creek.
Probably because it's a good 25 minutes from the water source.
Right. Another thing is the weather. You can't predict it here, right?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know what it takes to be a meteorologist. They're very smart people, but whoever or whatever is running some of these weather apps, off the rocker. Because this has been the one place that has been the most consistently wrong, really wrong, for weather prediction. I don't mean your usual, oh, it's a 50% chance of rain, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I mean the wind, the rain, the cloud cover, you name it, they've been so wrong about it. So that's been kind of a wild card.
And we watch the weather mainly for, well, do we need to get out if it's some huge storm that's coming, like where the RV might not can sustain the winds, but it's mainly for solar. Is this going to be a good solar day? Can Sean use her ice maker day? That's what we go by, because he is stingy.
Hey.
He's stingy, y'all.
Power saved is power saved? I don't know. I'll come up with something better.
And one other thing, because we have this big, beautiful window, we see people come in. There is this huge dip. Like the road, it goes down and then it goes back up.
Just like that, y'all. Really, it's that steep.
And we have seen some people approach it and they're like, ooh, and then they back up. Like they'll be towing like jet skis or something. Well, we saw one guy with the trailer, the guy that parked by us with the kayaks, he actually went down there. I'm like, okay, well, I hope his trailer wasn't damaged. But can you believe we saw 2 travel trailers? One kind of went slow, and his wife started running toward it because she heard something, and then he got through it, and then they went and walked around it and checked, and I don't know what the damage was, but the other one went full blast, and that trailer, like, I don't know.
And the truck was this way and the trailer is that way, and you're like, how are they still connected? But
and then he pulled out and then he walked around it. But then when he left, I mean, this road is really rocky. He's like, just speeding through. So that's to say, we've seen so much that's one reason we don't want to buy a used RV. We've seen them abused.
Y'all, she's not kidding. We have seen people, because we boondock a lot. We don't do a lot of RV parks, so it's hard to abuse an RV in an RV park, but boondocking, Lord willing, we're never buying a used RV again. Well, we've never bought a used one, but we're not going to. People are just horrible to their property.
Not everybody. It's just what
enough.
And you don't know if you're buying used or you buying from that person that doesn't care where it goes, because we've seen, I mean, we try to scout before we take the RV so we kind of know the best route to get into a spot. There is another way to get here without going through the dips. And you see some RVs and you're like, oh, okay, because you see the pictures online. Oh, well, look at that. They got their fifth wheel in there. And then we drive out there, we're like, how did they get their fifth wheel in there? So